Welcome to another Crypto.com NFT Twitter Spaces. We've got a great show today. We've brought on Canessa, the CEO of Kryptomon, and Tomer Nooni, the CMO of Kryptomon, for a chat today about what else but Kryptomon. First off, how are you guys doing today?
Well, doing great, doing good. Keep working and progressing. So aside from the last 2 days of bloodbath, I think that everyone in the crypto space experienced. But everything looks awesome.
Yeah, indeed a troubling 2-3 days, but I believe that the whole industry is going to grow a lot stronger from these events, and everything is going to be great in the long run. So indeed, as Umberto said, it was a very challenging 2-3 days, but thank God everything came out well. Happy to be here.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, we're really happy to have you here as well. And I agree. It has been a tough week, I guess, for everybody out there. But the big thing that, we all just keep doing is through all of the adversity, we keep building. And that's the best thing you can do in this scenario, I think. So guys, without further ado, let's get to our preset questions. So the first question we have for you today is, so I know I already introduced you folks a little bit, but could you tell us just a little bit about yourselves and what your role is within the Kryptomon project?
Yeah, sure. I'll kick it off then. So again, nice to meet you, Holt, and very glad to be here. I'm Umberto, and I'm the CEO and the founder of Kryptomon. So yeah, my role in the company, as you can imagine, is making sure that everything will be that will go forward, and that the team is going to be the best team to accomplish the vision that I have for us as a product and as a company, as a team.
Yeah, well, I'm Tomer. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of the company. I create and execute from A to Z all of our marketing plans, managing the community, growth of the community, etc. Setting up marketing partnerships, and some business partnerships. Like with you guys, working on it with our Chief Strategy Officer, Amit, that you're going to host next week. And that's about it. That's me.
Wonderful, guys. Well, thank you very much for the intros. Get to know you guys a little bit better. And now for the audience who might not know what Kryptomon is, can you either of you give us a description of the game and kind of the project as a whole, a little introduction?
Yeah. Tomer, shall I pick it up? Shall I start?
Of course.
Well, I think at the end of the day, the name says quite clearly what Kryptomon is about. So let's start from this. I'm class 1992. I'm 30 years old. And as you can imagine, as a lot of people of my age, grew up playing Pokemon. And I've been one of the, I think, very big fan of Pokemon. I spent all my childhood and actually still playing together Pokemon today. I'm still playing it. So Kryptomon indeed is taking Kryptomon, take CryptoKitties, Pokemon and Tamagotchi, mixed everything together, and then you get Kryptomon. Everything came out to me as an idea last year, and it was April last year. So we actually, as a company, I think we are not even 1 year old as a company. The idea came to my mind last year when everybody was talking about NFT, and I've been into the crypto space since 2011, and so I had the chance, to see the entire crypto ecosystem growing. And I remember about CryptoKitties, and then I saw they were still collectible pets and PNGs, so to say. And so I asked myself, what happens if I take a CryptoKitty concept and I'm going to add Pokemon and Tamagotchi mechanics, which are two games that I know by heart, and they've been designed 30 years ago, and they're still working. There is still a lot of fun, but still the actual game are, let's say, game for kids, and I'm not a kid anymore. And so I said, okay, what if we are going to be able to create the Kryptomon, the Pokemon for the adult people, for the people like me that grew up with Pokemon, but now they're looking for something more, so to say. And at the end of the day, the vision that I have is that when I was a kid and I was playing Pokemon on the Game Boy, neither the Game Boy Color, but the old-fashioned Game Boy, in black and white, I was really leaving the world. I was really that little 4 or 5 pixel avatar going around. I was really feeling it. But then at the end of the day, it was just a game. So my vision and what we're trying to build with Krypton is actually to make that real. Unfortunately, we can't have a Pikachu. I mean, as of yet, we can't have, Charmander in the real life, but at least leveraging the NFT, leveraging the tokens, leveraging the blockchain technology as a whole, we will be capable to recreate at least the society and the economy that were existing in those old-fashioned Pokemon games. And this is the mission that we have as Kryptomon. So really recreate that experience and that universe for all the players out there like me.
Amazing, Umberto. Yeah, no, it sounds like a fantastic concept, one that I'm really, really excited to dive into personally, because as somebody who also kind of came up around the 90s area, I was very active playing Pokemon growing up, again, on that Game Boy Color before you had any, backlights. So you're sitting in your living room, trying to scrounge any light source that you can find. Those truly were the days of playing video games for me. And it was,
I remember those, indeed.
Yeah, before that Game Boy SP came along and saved us all.
Yeah.
So, guys, my next question was kind of surrounding the influences that you had creating the Kryptomon world, but it's pretty clear that a lot of that inspiration comes from, Pokemon, Tamagotchi, and kind of CryptoKitties, bringing the whole video game culture combining with Web3. So I guess just where we all kind of came up in the same sort of area, what were some of the other, I guess, games that you guys were either into or maybe you drew some inspiration from in the Kryptomon world?
Well, as you can imagine, I'm a kind of a hardcore gamer myself. So I've played a lot of games, and let's say that right now we are taking inspiration, for example, from Minecraft. And people were wondering why from Minecraft, because if you look, for example, we will in the future. It's something that we're going to start implementing in Q3 this year. Is all about guilds and factions. And if there is any Minecraft player that played a Minecraft online faction server, they can understand what we're talking about. So the players will be capable, to connect together, create their own faction, fighting against other faction, creating the economy internally of their own faction, and manage it kind of the faction like a DAO, for example. And the entire tournament structure that we are setting up and building up is taking inspiration both from PokerStars, which is one of ex-director of PokerStars, is indeed one of our advisor that is helping us building the entire tournament structure, how the tournaments are working, and even the economy of the tournaments, because at the end of the day, it has to be sustainable. So looking a lot of what PokerStars did, because at the end of the day, they created an amazing structure in gaming and tournament gaming for poker, but we're going to kind of copy that. As well, at the end of the day, the ambition that we have is to achieve became the new League of Legends. I know it seems very ambitious, but at the end of the day, this is what we are aiming for. So really, Kryptomon is entirely designed to let the player enjoy the entire universe that we're building, having a lot of fun, but then they can decide to take the fighter path and trying to become the champion, the world champion of Kryptomon.
Yeah, as Umberto said, Umberto's vision regarding the esports world is really taking it seriously to make a Kryptomon a serious esports game. He always shows us as his vision is to have one day the stage. If you know this video of a stage, the opening of a League of Legends with the dragon, coming on stage from the sky with all the dancers. So 2 years from now, that's what we're expecting to be. Maybe 3.
Yeah, guys, and ambition is something that's never a bad thing to have in the NFT space. That's for sure, because people are always looking for the next biggest, the next best, and having that kind of as a core competency for you guys is definitely a great thing to see. And yeah, the whole tournament structure sounds really cool too. I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out. So guys, one other question that I actually love to ask almost everybody who gets up on this stage is, how did you get your start with NFTs? So we all have, our own crazy stories of how we got here into the wild world of NFTs and when we began to kind of have that snap moment where it all made sense. So maybe if you guys could just go one after the other and just tell us a little bit about your journey to get here as a whole.
Tomer, you first.
Okay, I will pick this one first. So it's going to be funny, but the first time I've heard about NFTs, and you're going to be surprised, was from my wife's mom, from my mother-in-law. She
Oh
came
yeah.
over to me, yeah, because she knew I was into crypto and blockchain technologies, and overall, in gaming, investments, etc. And one day she was asking me about NFTs and what they are. She heard this word from her family in Singapore. I'm married to my wife is from Singapore. She heard about it and she asked me about it, and I was like, probably just another trend for people, to make some money of nothing in the internet. Then I started researching it and actually I understood what NFTs really are. Everybody have this moment that they actually understand what NFTs can do and what they represent. The whole ownership concept, the utility concept, and how we create from them like a real thing that we can create in a that we can create and collect in a digital version, and we can use, for example, as keys to do various things online that no one else can, only because we are holding these NFTs. So that's what was the first time I've heard about NFTs, and actually the first time I got an NFT was Kryptomon. That was the first time that I actually got myself an NFT. A friend of mine, who is an advisor of the company, his name is Nimrod Mai, he offered me to invest in this company called Kryptomon that he's now a part of, and told me about the concept. I said, okay, why not? I will put some money there. And then immediately, when I understood what they're doing, fell in love completely with the project, and from there on, Umberto gave me the opportunity to become the CMO as they were looking for one, and that's how I started with the company. So my first NFT was actually a Kryptomon that I got from the
Oh,
company.
Awesome.
well, the same actually. I will say for me. I mean, I've got in touch with, as I said, the first NFT. The first time I met NFT was 2017 with CryptoKitties, and I've been like flabbergasted by the concept behind, the fact for me, the fact that you kind of having, a digital pet that was really yours, that and a digital item that was really yours. That it's kind of that for me from a philosophical perspective was like boom, mind blowing, and I was like, fuck, this is something. But I didn't bought any CryptoKitties by then because at the end of the day, for me, they were calling it a game, but for me, as a gamer, it wasn't. There were not gameplay rather than having two PNG breeding with each other. So I said, okay, I will pass it. But the concept, flabbergasted me. And then my first, as I said in April, I connected the dots, so to say. Connect my childhood with this weird concept about digital cats online that I've met 4 years before, and I connect everything together, and then the idea of Kryptomon came out. And indeed, also for me, the first NFT was a Kryptomon, because the first things that I did when I had the connected the dot was, okay, I need to learn how to code Solidity and how to write down the first smart Kryptomon NFT smart contract, and this is what I did, and this is the reason why I got the first Krypton. If you look at Kryptomon, ID, the number 0, it's indeed mine, because it was the first one, and actually that was the first NFT I ever got.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you guys for giving us a little more insight into your stories on how you got here. You guys would be shocked to know how many people come up on stage and say their first NFT exposure was through CryptoKitties. It's almost incredible what they did back in early, 2017, 2018, when the NFTs were still in complete infancy. And I think it's one of those really strong points behind gaming related drops and, building out NFT blockchain games is that there is real interest there. There's a lot of real interest there.
Yeah, no,
Completely.
exactly.
I remember seeing CryptoKitties back in the day, and I didn't even know that their name was NFTs. I think no one even called it NFTs back in
No,
the day with
exactly.
the CryptoKitties. I heard about them. I saw them back in the day. I had a startup that was doing a Cardano wallet with some of friends of mine from Ukraine, and no one even called it we didn't understand what it actually was, and we were in the industry. So indeed, completely pioneers. Umberto, you were saying, excuse me?
No, no, I was saying that to connect what our host just mentioned about, NFT and gaming. I think, to be honest, I mean, there is plenty of NFTs, and we also saw what happened, to the NFT market with most of the NFT, of course, lost their value in the overall thing. But I'm a truly believer as a gamer. I truly believe, and this is kind of the feeling of the entire industry, especially the gaming industry, that NFTs are here to stay for the gaming concept, for the gaming industry. It's going to be probably the next big revolution and evolution, I would say. I would call it more an evolution of the gaming. Because as of today, as a gamer, imagine you are a World of Warcraft player, and I mean, I think there is plenty here. There's plenty worldwide. And, you start playing World of Warcraft maybe when you're 13, 14, and you start investing a lot of your time and some money if you have, your grandma gives some money and then you buy the best suits or whatever to try to make your avatar stronger and stronger and stronger. And then you grow up. And at a certain point, work, life, kids, you can't play anymore. You don't have a lot of time to play and blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, what happened? You stop playing and all the money you invested, all the time you invested as a gamer, because I mean, when you are like into those kind of game, you're not just a casual player. You're really spending hours. You really want to become the best one. Everything will be gone, and you can't do anything. You can't sell it, because if you sell it, for example, Activision Blizzard will ban you if you sell your account. So you can't do anything, and then all the time and everything, it's just gone. While instead now with NFT really connected to gaming, all the hours, all the money, everything that you just going to invest inside of the game to make you stronger and stronger, especially online gaming, it will kind of consolidate that value. You kind of really creating a digital assets, and your avatar or your creature in the case of Kryptomon is something that is really there, is an asset that then have a utility, because of course it's an asset part of a game. So the value that you created on that asset will be useful for the game itself, and then you are free to sell it. And you're free to sell it and to get the money back. You can actually monetize. You can actually making this, a second income if you wish, if you really want to do it. So I think NFT and gaming are like here to stay together, and we will see. And if you look at the gaming company, the established gaming publisher and everyone, the biggest one are indeed start moving into the Web3 NFT gaming, because they realize that this is going to be the next big things for gaming. It's going to be the natural evolution of gaming, because at a certain point, gaming became something very, very big. It still will be bigger and bigger and bigger. And then now players have something that allows them to not, see all the hours they invested gone, but they actually capitalize them. And this is going to be something big.
I have to agree with you. We're completely aligned there. You brought up World of Warcraft, but I was somebody who was, through my teens, playing an ungodly amount of RuneScape. And the thing with that is, sure, I got my 99s, sure, I got my skill capes, my whips, and my god swords and all that, but what's that worth to me now? And I think that's really a good, analogy for the use of NFTs in gaming, is having some value to continue after, you might have to put that game down. Like you were saying, of course we have real life responsibilities now, which are, super unfortunate, but but it's just the way it goes. And it would be so much better if you could come out of the other side with some, semblance of, all that work that you've had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
completely. And you don't have to hide in places like eBay and online places to try and sell your stuff. I'm not sure if you know, but as a boomer, Umberto, as he calls me, back in the day, you would buy on eBay. You would go and buy something for Diablo, and then you will meet someone in the village and will throw it on the ground, and you will have to pick it up. So yeah, NFTs are just solving all of the problem, giving you the actual value. I'm sure that the old gamers over here will probably know it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I mean, those behind the alley transactions from Diablo, definitely not fun. Definitely
completely.
Okay, guys. So I guess moving forward with Kryptomon, my next question is: what do you think sets Kryptomon apart from other play-to-earn blockchain games that are currently out there?
Well, I think, of course, there is plenty of. I mean, first of all, what I would say is this, as the gaming market and this market is going to be so big, there is going to be space for, a lot of players. There's no, it's not this. This is so. It's going to be so big there, and it's already big, but it's going to be even bigger. That a lot of players, can survive and they can have a great time working together. Like in the gaming industry, I mean, you don't have only, I don't know, Ubisoft. You have plenty of software houses, publisher, and then it depends on the player which kind of game they wish to play, and they will play that. The things that I'm saying about us is what I can say is that we, since the beginning, since we started, and Tomer can confirm that, when he was just an investor, I always said to the entire team and to the entire community that we have, which as of today it counts around 300,000 people, is first of all, guys, we are a gaming company. We are not a crypto project. What does mean? What does this mean? It means that as a gaming company, we need to take the time to build it right properly. We will do mistakes like every company out there. And we are here for the long run. We are here to building a sustainable company, but not to building something that will allow us or some member of the community to cash out quickly and then starting with a new project. No. And this is a kind of a very intrinsic, mindset that we have in the company that makes a lot of difference in the way we do work, in the way we do approach with our community. We spend a lot of hours and actually months educating, so to say, the community, because as you can imagine, when we came out, we went viral and we got a lot of people coming in from other play to earn, and they were expecting, for example, that we were releasing the game in a matter of a month, or they were expecting they could make money as a lot of money in a short time period, without like investing either time or investing some money inside of the game itself, inside of the game economy, like most of the play to earn were promising. And we were saying, no, guys, this is not how it works. We are here to build a proper company, and for building a proper company, you need to have a sustainable economy. You need to have a great game. You need to be focused on the game first, and the earn part has to become second. So nowadays, if you look in the market, everybody, some people, the smart one, are start saying, yeah, we are there. There's the concept of play to earn is starting evolving in play and earn, and it's something that you can see happening around in the last couple of months. We started calling
We were the
ourselves
first ones, by the way, Umberto,
Exactly.
to add it on our website, Play and Earn. We're one of the first companies to do this, Play to Earn back in the day, and we're the first one to change it. If you
Exactly, because
remember.
we were that was August that we started calling ourselves Play and Earn, because we always said that at the end of the day, a game, the reason why people are playing a video game is not because they're making money. The reason why people are playing a game is because they're having fun, because they want to have a nice hour, couple of hours, or like me tomorrow, I'm going to have an all night session with a couple of friends of mine playing games. But the reason why we're doing it is because we want to have fun. And this has to be the main focus for a gaming company. And even if it's a play to earn, the main focus has to be on the game, building a great game that people will play it even without the earn part. The earn part, it should be the cherry on the top of the cake, not the cake itself. And I think that this is something that, as Tomer said, we were the first one, I guess, sharing, and this was our vision, and we always be very consistent with this principle. And now we can see indeed a lot of the industry, or at least the serious project, indeed moving also in this part, because at a certain point it's been already validated the fact that the play to earn mechanics, so promising people to make a lot of money in a quick way and that kind of stuff, is not sustainable. And then either you build up a Ponzi scheme, so it's not sustainable, or you're going to die. But if you really want to build something that stays here for 10, 20 years and want to become something big, then you really need to take this as a game within a sustainable economy that also will allow player to earn extra money. But that's the earn part shouldn't be the main reason why the player are playing your games. And the thing in play to earn is intrinsic in the word to, that people are playing because they want to earn. Instead, it should be play and earn. And I think this is one of the biggest differentiator that we had and we have amongst most of the other crypto project and play to earn project out there. I don't know, Tomer, if you have anything to add.
You said a lot. I have two small things to add. First one, other than what Umberto said, I think that one of this project's biggest strength is our community. Our community is one of the biggest communities of all crypto projects. At the moment, we're about 400 followers, friends, members across channels. Out of them, unique, we assume about 180 to 200,000. We're managing communities in about 18 languages today. You can find us in almost any language. Most of it is on Telegram and Discord, and we're also managing a few over here on Twitter. So definitely, big shout out to our community. They're amazing. They're what makes this project strong, sustainable, and well, amazing. Join our community. It's a very, very warm and welcoming community. Other than that, one other thing that makes this project unique is the overall way that the company makes its business and doing its raise. If you guys didn't read, Umberto just sent a letter from the CEO. It's been published on our Medium. You can read it out, and then there you will find out that we just closed Series A. We're not disclosing numbers and who participated in the round. We can just say they're top tier and high profile, top tier VCs and high profile individuals. But all of the round was raised through equity. So unlike many projects, we didn't even sell one token. We didn't sell any huge batch of NFTs to guilds in order to fund ourselves and bring down the floor price of NFTs or completely crush the token once VCs will just start dumping them into the market. So the overall strategy of this company is indeed, as Umberto said, to first create a sustainable economy, great game that you would like to love to play. We're all gamers ourselves. At the end of the day, if you don't like playing the game and you don't want playing a game, then how do you see this project survive like 2-3 years from now? Just go to the App Store and download the coolest game, and you won't even be having to buy any NFT or a token. So only if you believe in the team, in the overall concept, and you can see what the project will become at the end of the journey. Well, you can understand what we're building and what this team is all about and what Kryptomon is all about. So that's what differentiates us from the rest, I think.
Perfect. Well, congrats on completing your most recent round. That's awesome. And guys, it makes sense. It completely makes sense. The game should always come first. It's hard to generate value for anyone if the only reason to play the game is to earn. 100% aligned with the fact that you have to have fun playing the game, or else it's simply not going to have a user base, right?
No, exactly. And consider that what you consider connecting to the things. I've been working, of course, on this Series A since the last, I would say, 4 to 6 months. And as you can imagine, a lot of venture capital are now looking into the gaming blockchain part because it's kind of a hot thing, and they all know that it's going to become, something big. And I remember when I was talking with them, one of the things they really liked about us was that if you look at our pitch deck, the presentation that you send to the investors to understand what you're talking about, we don't talk about the crypto, the Kemon coin. We don't talk about the Kemon coin at all. And that was the exact reason why I got a lot of meeting with the VCs, and then very cool VCs decided to invest, because they said amongst 100,000 of decks of gaming, crypto blockchain gaming company that we do receive, you were like one of the 10, or very few of them, and you were just one of them that we're not talking about at all about the token. You were just talking about the game. You were just talking how the game economy will work, what's the player look like, what's the ambition for the player. So you were really focused on the game itself, and you never talked about the tokens. And this is something they really appreciated, because at the end, what they got instead were a lot, as Tomer said, a lot of projects going to the VCs and trying to sell them their tokens easily to raise money, so then the VCs can speculate on top of that. And instead, we also didn't want to have this kind of VC with us. And so we were very, very strict also with the VCs they've talked, and say, no, sorry, we're not going to give you tokens, because if you're in for the tokens, it means that you're just in for speculate, and you're not here for the long run. Because if you invest in the equity, so meaning on the shares of the company, then you know that you need to really be supportive and stay with us for at least 5 to 10 years before you can, monetize and ROI your investment. So this shows us that you really believe that that on what you're building. If you just buy the token, it means that as soon as it's vested, you will be happy to dump it. It's more speculative, and this is not what we wanted. And we did it. So we are very happy about it, and this allows us as a company, to even now during this very bloodbath there has been in the last 2 days, and this bearish market situation, to technically speaking not be worried, because at the end of the day we have all the resources that we need to keep building and to build the greatest game that we can ever build.
Excellent, guys. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic strategy. And, the best thing that you can do through, market downturn is to keep building. So you guys are right on the right track there. So guys, on the Kryptomon website, there's a traditional roadmap, but there's also a series of seasons that will introduce new elements to the Kryptomon game. Would you guys be able to briefly maybe go over what those 3 seasons are going to bring?
Yeah, sure. So let's say this. So the first version of the Kryptomon game we are very lean in the approach. So the first version of the game that has been released was released it was in December, end of December, and we can call it an MVP at the end of the day. So a minimum viable product. So players were finally capable to see their Kryptomon in game, and they need to take care of them like a Tamagotchi. So what is currently the game that is out live now is a web game that you can play via the computer browser, and it's a Tamagotchi. By the end of this quarter, we will finally release the PvE, so players will be finally capable to use their Kryptomon that they have trained during this period to finally, take part in a kind of a single-player campaign mode and fighting against, NPC and a stronger Kryptomon to get stronger, to earn rewards, in-game rewards, and also Kryptomon coin, and so on. And then the next big season, it will happening in Q3, Q4, which is everything that I'm waiting for, is going to be the PvP. So where the player will finally capable to play against each other and participate in the tournaments. But there is something that is not written on the website that it's not a spoiler, because it's already known amongst our community that what the players are playing right now is a 2D game. But now, currently, also thanks to the latest equity round, we are started building in parallel the 3D version of the Kryptomon game, which we will start, swapping around Q1 next year. And the reason why we decided to take this path, so starting in 2D and one in parallel creating the 3D, is because in this way, with the 2D, we are capable to validate the game mechanics. So every time we do have an idea, we want to validate, understand if the game design, the game mechanics works, is way easier to do in 2D. And then those that pass, let's say, the validation, then it will be confirmed, and then it will be integrated in 3D. So at the end of the day, if you ask me how Kryptomon looks like in 1 year and a half, 2 years, it will be a full-fledged MMO RPG game that player will be capable to enjoy.
Perfect. Thank you, Umberto. Yeah, exciting, guys. There's no shortage of really cool things coming. I can't wait to see the PvE and the PvP come out. I'm personally probably going to be all over that. Now, I see on the website as well, moving a little further into the project, you folks intend to do a land sale and introduce the Cryptoverse metaverse. It's probably still a little bit out, but can you folks give us a little bit of insight into what the audience might be expecting on the metaverse front eventually?
Yeah, well, as I said, I mean, the thing, there is one thing I always said about, especially, Tomer, of course, if you want to intervene,
all
please,
yours,
feel free.
Man, all yours, all yours.
But no, because I don't want to, that then you complain that I'm always talking. But no,
you're always talking.
No, but the thing is, regarding the word metaverse, so I always say that I'm not a very big fan of the word metaverse, because right now marketeers always tend to ruin everything. So now everything
100% with you. It's more of a buzzword that's thrown out there at this
exactly
point.
Completely.
Everything right now is a metaverse. Like, and the funny thing is, like, it's a new stuff. But actually, if you're a gamer and you play online, you're already playing metaverse games. I mean, if you play Minecraft online, something that I do, you are part of a metaverse. You have a huge world in 3D. You have your house. You have your land. You can you fight with other people. You trade with other people. You have your job. You can earn money. You can exchange stuff. It's already a metaverse. And the same for any other MMO game that you can play. Metaverse exists already. So at the end of the day,
Second Life, boomers, we called it Second Life, back in the day,
20, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, Second Life. I mean, that was a metaverse completely. And so metaverse exists already. So for me now, it's just a buzzword that most of the projects are using just to say that they're cool. So we need to use it because, of course, it gave the idea of what we're aiming to build, even though I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, we are going to also, of course, as I said, we are building this 3D world, MMO style, and we're going to host the land sale. There's going to be different cities, different region where player can buy their own piece of land. And then on top of the land, they will be capable to, build buildings on top of it, like a forge that would allow players to craft NFT items that then they can resell it to someone else. They will have training camp, academy. So it's going to be really a real economy inside of the game and a society inside of the game. And the land will be, of course, part of it, because at the end of the day, if you want to build a house, you need a piece of land. And this is going to how to work. So at the end, as you can understand, most of the time when we are trying building Kryptomon, we never, at the end of the day, we never reinvented the wheel. It's still the same. I mean, we're using game mechanics that are already, being validated 30 years ago, and they're still working. And then everything else, we just look what happens in the real life, and we adapt it to the game concept, to the game mechanics, and bring it up inside of the game. In the universe, not metaverse.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys are right on with it. You're 100% right in the degree that, metaverse gets thrown out there way too often as something that's, brand new. And really, it's just been a constantly evolving concept over, as you said, the last 30 years. And this is, I feel like, in Web3, this is the next genesis of it, where we can plug it in with crypto, where we can plug it in with NFTs. But, coming at people and saying that it's an entirely new thing can be a little bit disingenuous. And I know that now that you folks are really focusing on, building that up so that it doesn't come across as that way.
Yeah, and how many metaverses people think that we need? Like how many do we need? Like 20, 30, 40, 100 metaverses, and you will be crossing across metaverses with them. The use of a buzzword, just I think, from a marketing perspective, creates a lot of problem, to communicate to some of the project like us what we're trying to achieve, because it became like a buzzword that just people are just using people's inability to understand what the Web3 concept is, just in order to sell some tokens or whatever. So yeah, completely, as Umberto said.
No, and then as you can see, if you look at most of also the metaverse that are exist right now, they are actually live. Very beautiful world. I mean, you enter in this 3D world, very beautiful, but then most of the time you yourself, just you by yourself. There's no one there. Most of the time, if there something is because there is a specific event. So a lot of people have just built a very beautiful container without a content, so to say. And the reason why instead MMO metaverse, so games, works is because the game is the content, and that people will drive people to go and start playing inside of this universe, inside of this metaverse. And so that's also the reason why we decided to start focusing and start working on the game and the game design, on the game mechanics, and then expanding the game, adding features like an MMO 3D region. But for us, it's a feature of the game, which is the content that drive the people to join and to interact with it and spending their time and having great fun. Otherwise, you have plenty of other 3D, very beautiful world, and then you're just going around. There's no one, there's nothing to do, and yeah, how long you can survive with that?
Yeah.
Completely. At the end of the day, it's content. Exactly like you come on over to Twitter because there's good content on it that you want to consume, that you want to create. You go on Facebook, you go on YouTube, you go on whatever because you want to create the content, you want to consume the content, you want to interact with the content. So exactly as Umberto said, this is the first thing that we can create in this virtual world, our cryptoverse, metaverse, whatever you want to call it. So people will want to become part of our game total game ecosystem, to own land so they can create their own business or whatever, or open their house, build their house inside our virtual game world. So at the end of the day, is exactly as Umberto said, it's all about content and utility.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really does make a lot of sense. So, guys, a very unique aspect of your project is the Kryptomon DNA. Could you tell us a little bit about the DNA structure and how it affects the individual's gameplay experience?
Well, at the end, the DNA affects the entire gameplay experience because every Kryptomon has a 38 genes DNA. Not all of them are currently used, but every specific genes it determines the Kryptomon characteristics. I mean, as every human being, we are all different. We are all sharing. We have the same structure of DNA, but our DNA is all different. There is people which are couch potatoes like me, people that are instead more willingness to go and doing activities and sport. Everything, it depends on your, how your DNA is and how did you grow up and hold your behavior and characteristic. If you're an arrogant, if you have a lot of ego, and so on. And so all of those mechanics, all of those DNA parameters are affecting the Kryptomon and then affecting indirectly, actually directly also the gameplay. So I make an example. If you have, there is one parameter is, for example, hungriness. And if your Kryptomon is very high in hungriness, it means that you need to feed him a lot of time, more often, because he really wants to, it's just kind of, someone that really wants to eat every second, so to say. If you have it very low, then you can feed him like once every 2 days, for example. Or there is another mechanics with another parameter, which is the ego. The higher the ego, the less, the choosier, let's say, is going to be the Kryptomon on the food that you're going to give him. There's the braveness parameters that makes an impact in the battles, meaning that if your Kryptomon is high in braveness and then you meet against a Kryptomon which is stronger than you, then your Kryptomon get a pump because it's super, brave, and vice versa. So all of the different parameters are defining the Kryptomon and itself, and how do you then need to play, and how do you play your strategy, especially in the battles, because the battles mechanic is going to be really like a chess play. So you really need to build up your strategy, looking for the best DNA that works and fit your strategy amongst your own team. So yeah, that's kind of long story short of the Kryptomon DNA.
And what makes the DNA special is also, Umberto, something that you didn't mention because we're taking it, like, we're taking it like people, everybody knows it, but that's what creates the Kryptomon as a living NFT. So an NFT that, unlike any other, because of the Tamagotchi mechanics that were created into these NFTs, these Kryptomons are completely alive. It's a living NFT. They always live on the blockchain. From the moment they hatch and you enter the game, you need to start taking care of them, of course. So all of these genes will affect at the end how your living NFT is coming alive, and how you need to take care of it, etc., etc., etc. As a very, very sophisticated new age Tamagotchi.
Wonderful, guys. There are a whole lot of things at play with the DNA that customize the gameplay experience and really differentiate each type of NFT. And I think that's very, very cool. I think personally, I must be somebody who has that very hungry trait, because I know I'm always mucking down on food, and that's really cool. I love how it just personalizes the individual gameplay experience. Moving forward, guys, one of the best things about gaming for me is that there's truly something for everybody out there. From the diehard, gotta catch 'em all type users to the more laid back casual gamers who might not have as much time as they used to. How do you guys go about making sure that there really is something for everybody in Kryptomon?
That's actually one of the greatest questions I ever heard. Because, look, when we started, what I can say is this: I'm a gamer, but I want to be honest, I never built a game myself before. So when we started, I immediately, looking for experienced, people from the gaming industry. And one of our investor and advisor was the ex chief product officer of Playtika, which is a $13 billion gaming company. And the first things that he taught me is about this. He said, you always need to focus on trying to make the game balanced in a way that either if you are a casual player, he will have fun, but either if you are not an hardcore gamer, he will have fun. So this is one of the main challenge and one of the principle that we are following, like a star when we're building the game design and we're doing the entire game design and game development is indeed about this. How can we ensure that me as a casual player that, while I'm sitting on the toilet, I want to play, those 15 minutes, I can have fun. And also, how can we make it that a hardcore gamer that really want to deep dive into it can enjoy the gameplay? So this is a very tough balance to make. I want to be transparent. It's not easy because, as you can expecting, are two different completely way of, consuming the gaming product. And the experience, the user experience that you want to have are completely different. But we're making there. It's a very difficult exercise. That's the reason also why it requires time to make it happen and to make it in a way that also you're not unbalancing the entire game economy. But yeah, with Kryptomon, for example, if we took the battle as an example, you can have a fun, playing, like, just as I said, while you're sitting on the toilet. Most of the time I'm playing video games on the mobile is because I'm on the toilet, but or while you are commuting, you can have those 15-30 minutes of extra quick fun in the battles. You can have it and you will have a great time. But then the game design is so deep that if you really want to master it, then you're gonna have bread for your teeth, so to say. You're gonna have really to deep dive in the entire DNA, in the entire strategy, and so on. And also, this has to be done in the case since we want to expand the entire esport part of the Kryptomon game. So it's a very big challenge. I can't say it differently. But so we as a Kryptomon, we are trying our best to make it happen that either if you want to play an hour here and there, you will have a great time. We will take care of you, so to say. But also, if you really want to deep dive, you want to become a pro because you're really looking for the challenge, then also you're going to get challenged.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, there you have it, folks. From the toilet gamers to the hardcore gamers, you should have a little bit of everything mixed around for you in Kryptomon. And guys, we've got one last question here, and then maybe we could take a couple of community questions, but we are getting pretty close to the top of the hour. So I guess lastly, we'll just move into this one. Moving closer to Drop Day itself, where can the community go to learn more about the project?
Well, stage is yours.
Thank you. So
it's your Beyonce moment.
At last, man, it's at last today. So yeah, indeed, you can join one of our communities, of course, on Discord. You can find links to all of our communities on our website. It's Kryptomon with K .co, not .com, .co. All of the community links can be found on the website. To our Telegram, if you guys use Telegram, that's where most of our community are most active on. Then we have our Discord. In our Telegram, you can find, after joining the community, and even before, you can find our communities in 18 languages, localized channels completely from A to Z, in English, Spanish, French, Vietnamese, Japanese, Chinese, Portuguese, you name it, we have it. Very big, warming, welcoming communities. Of course, you can always follow us here on Twitter. Our Twitter is also very active. We're trying to update everything here on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. And of course, Twitch, YouTube, etc. All of the links on our website. Feel free. We want you there. Join us. Ask questions. Come be part of our community.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Tomer, for the additional information on the community itself. I love how many different languages you folks support. NFTs is truly the epitome of a global, movement. So it only makes sense to be supporting as many people as you can and wrapping as many people as you can into your project. All right. So, folks, that does it for answering our preset questions. So it's now the time in the space where we would turn it over to you, the community. So if you are interested and have a question for Tomer or Umberto, feel free to request. We'll bring you up on the stage to speak live. You can request down in the bottom left-hand corner using the microphone. We'll probably take 2 or 3 community questions before we get to the top of the hour and close the session. So let's start it out with Crover. Give him a second to connect here. Crover, how you doing today?
Hey, Jose. Hold on, sorry. God, man, you caught me at the wrong second. Okay, before I die here, let me get...
Please don't die. Exactly.
No. Jesus, Murphy, holy crap, wrong hole. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Okay, here we go. My apologies.
do good.
Anyways, hello, my name is Crover 9000. It is a pleasure to meet you all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you guys are at today. Hello. Anyways, so I just got a question. The mint is soon. Is it this month? And I'm sure a lot of people are asking. I did come in late, so my apologies if you guys mentioned it. But the mint price. Also, cool idea. I think it's really cool that you guys are doing this before Pokemon even had a chance to even do it. And I think that is going to help. Because I always thought this was a really cool idea, and the first person that did it was going to, have a solid running shot at it. So, kudos for you guys, because it looks kind of neat. So,
Thank
you
you
so much
Tomer.
for the support. Yeah, the event is going to be on the 18th of the month. It's going to be Wednesday. Regarding a time zone, I'm sure that everything will be published on here on Crypto.com's NFT Twitter channel. So going to be on Wednesday the 18th, and
mint price.
And there's a price.
Mint price is going to be a special price that we're having for this event. It's going to be $85.
What?
Yes,
that is really good.
Yes.
Okay, that is okay. No, that's.
Yeah, the reason
I don't even have to say anything. Damien already knows. He's like, "Oh shit! All right, you're good."
No, I can just add on top of that why, for example, the reason why we are doing this, let's say at such a low price, it can, especially compared to most of the NFT mints and so on, is because, again, as a gaming company, how do you judge a game success? By the number of players. And currently, playing Kryptomon, to play Kryptomon, having a Kryptomon is needed. And our main objective right now is not to monetize on, let's say,
so smart.
I can't say that, of course, making some money out of it, it wouldn't help our company. Of course, it's good. We are a company. We need to
it's
make
inevitable.
revenues.
Yes, I understand
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the reason why we don't want to, sell it for, a tremendous amount of money or whatever, because this is not our main focus and not main focus. We want to have players, and because this is how you success a game.
Yes, very, because you need people to play it. I always tell people all these games that are coming out, which is cool. I love all the atmosphere around it, but I mean, at the end of the day, you have to make a game that people want to play, and it has to be fun. And I came here right when you were talking about it being fun, and giving some like old school RuneScape mentions, like how you guys would do trust trades. And I messaged you, Damien. I said, meet me in level 40 wild. We'll trade there, because man, it's so true. Okay, and I've also thought about this too, like so many times all these video games we've wasted countless amounts of hours, and if you played old school games like old school RS, you have old items that are worth tons of money in game, but you couldn't do anything with it because it's illegal to sell it for real money and then trade it in game. Because I play other MMOs where I've had tons of stuff and I sold it for like gift cards or like e-transfers or whatever, and I would sell the items in game, right? But you're technically not allowed to do that. And I think NFTs getting involved with the gaming community is really going to change everything, and it's going to help, because you know what, a lot of people put hours into these these games, and it's no fair we don't get nothing out of it, to be completely honest. Like, besides some trophies to show your friends that you won't show them in a year because it won't be important. So anyway, sorry to take up so much time. I just wanted to ask those questions, and I'm really stoked to hear you guys play it out.
Well, you're raising amazing points that all of
Thank
them
you
are
for the
exactly
price
the
point.
reason why we're doing this and why we've created this thing and why Umberto thought about all of the concept is exactly the reasons that you've just mentioned, man.
Right.
That's exactly it.
And I think that's going to help completely work in your guys' favor, because not only at a low price point does it give a lot of regular people a chance to get in, because not everyone here has got crazy money to spend, especially at a market like this and a time like this. But there's a lot of people that don't want to take the gamble on too much of a risk. So I think, evening it out and making it a bit fair for a lot of people that are in those positions like that, I think that's only going to help you guys grow long term, because it gives an entry point for it to probably sell out now, and then it only gives more room for secondary to grow. And I think that was key. So good job on you guys. I'm going to get ready for work, so I got to go slave it in a bit. But I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
To that question, by the way,
Much
one
love.
of the reasons that we got Crypto.com NFT, we gave them such an exclusive price for the minting event, for the drop, is due to the fact that the price was supposed to be different, a little bit higher. But after we saw how many people got destroyed, and completely eliminated by this Luna crash, that I won't share here what my opinion is about it, but Damien already knows what I think. But well, we saw how many people got hurt about it, and we said we need to make sure, that we are also helping people, as many people as we can, to get a chance to get their own Kryptomon and participate in the game. So this is why this is the first time that we're giving such an exclusive price for Crypto.com. And in addition, this drop is going to be a very special drop where we're going to drop Gen 0 to Gen 6 Kryptomons. For some of you who were not from our community, and Umberto didn't mention it before, about DNAs and generations, where we were asked, the lower the gen is, the less mutations you're going to have when you're breeding your NFT. So the more scarcity exists with lower generations. So at the moment, we're at generation 11. Being created. Their drop in Crypto.com is going to be Gen 0 to Gen 6. So it brings even the value even much higher than any normal drop we've done so far. Yeah, that's it. So one lucky winner is going to get the Gen 0, which only 100 Gen 0s will ever exist in history of Kryptomon. Only 100 Gen 0s.
Just for you two guys to know that Tomer either
Don't do it.
The CMO, either Tomer is the CMO of the company. He doesn't own a Gen 0, and we are bullying it for him. And he's really craving.
Stop pushing it.
That's true.
I don't know. Thank you, Umberto, for letting everybody know.
All right, guys. Well, that does bring us to the top of the hour. So I'm sorry to the community that it was a little bit of a small question period today, but we should have some more time in our next spaces next week to get more of these community questions out, because we love hearing from you, and it brings us a lot of great discussion points up here too. So thank you very much to the community for your interest, and we'll have more time for you next time around to get some of those questions up. So guys, Tomer, Umberto, that does bring us to the end of our session today. Is there anything that you guys would like to say in closing?
Thank you for having us. Yeah,
exactly.
Looking forward for the event. And if you guys have any other questions, of course, you're welcome to join our community, especially on Telegram, and just tag us and ask questions. Mostly we're answering there, and even private messages. We'll try to answer as much as we can. We're very active. We are part of the community. Our community is being managed by us, not by some kind of a paid company that comes around and manages our own community for us, and we're sitting on high chairs and not answering. We are part of the community. We are there. We are there to answer all of your questions. Feel free to approach us. We will do our best to answer you in a timely manner, even though it's weekend. So yeah, please join our community and feel free. We're there. We're the ones managing all of them. Feel free. Umberto?
Well, man, you said everything, so I wouldn't add anything more than it's been a pleasure being here. Thank you very much, everyone, for for stay with us during this hour and to listen me and Tomer speaking. I can imagine that it could be interesting, but it can also be, annoying. I mean, after an hour, I listen to Tomer speaking, I also get annoyed. So thank you. Thank you very much, guys. And I hope to see you in the community, as Tomer said. You can find me there. You can find Tomer there. As he said, we are always there, active each 24 hours. I'm usually spend a lot of time in community because I'm smoking cigarettes. So every time I'm smoking a cigarette, I'm there reading and answering. So looking forward to see you all, and feel free to join, share also feedback, shares ideas, please, because at the end of the day, also we as a Krypton, we always said to our community members that they are not just a community, they are an extended team. So really, if you have an idea about the game, if you have any feedbacks, or if you see what, everything, join us, share it with us, co-create the game with us. This is something that is really matter for us. So again, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to meeting you in our community. Damien, thank you for having us in Crypto.com NFT. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. It's fun with you. Looking forward for the drop.
Always our pleasure, guys. And thank you from our side for taking the time to come up here and speak with the community. And just one last time, thank you to the community out there as well for the questions and some of those requests that we unfortunately couldn't get to here today. But thank you for showing up, because we couldn't run these events without you. So just one more time for everybody out there, thank you for tuning into another Crypto.com NFT space. Make sure to keep your eye out for our Kryptomon drop going down on May 18th of next week now. And until next time, take care, everybody. I hope you all have a great weekend. See ya.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for being with us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for all listening.